Good evening. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your morning flash update for Monday, tax day, April 15th, 2024, 8:25 a.m. Central Time. You know, if you think about it, had you thought Israel's going to be attacked by a major swarm of cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and drones, knocks down 99% of them, doesn't retaliate yet, War Cabinet meeting going on as we're talking, that you would be up in the stock market, 300 points in the Dow, 40 points in the S&P, that gold would be lower, that the dollar wouldn't be getting a safe haven bid, that bonds and notes would go into a major sell-off. I don't think you'd have bet that. I think it would have been the other way. What about the energies, that they'd be lower today? So one of the things I did over the weekend, and I think you know that, is instead of putting out my subscriber updates like I normally do, be it either Friday night or Saturday, I waited to get to the open last night of the markets because that's where the market would be. And I told traders, I said, listen, there are some trades to be put out. Knock on wood, one of them was going into the short side of the 5-year note, by the way. But I said, you've got to be careful. We got to see Asia open, Europe, how they're going to react. It'll come back to America, and you're either going to be up or down an awful lot. And that's exactly what is going on. The market is looking at it and saying, we're through that event. Israel can use the restraint. All of a sudden, the world has focused back positive for Israel. They're the culprits. Who? Iran. The innocents in this case were certainly a huge barrage thrown at Israel, and Israel shows it can defend itself. I'll leave it at that. Nobody knows what the next step is. If you think you do, terrific. That's why the analysts are all over TV today, all right? Understand that. We had advanced retail sales. These are strong. The U.S. economy is still on fire. Up 0.7. It expected up 0.3. And the advanced retail sales up 1.1. They expected it only up 0.4. It's triple what they thought. Now, we see that manufacturing is subdued out east. There's no change here. The prior was down 20.9. They expected it down -7. Okay, it's better than it had been, but still not picking up in the manner they wanted. The same thing is true with the employment index. It was worse before. It's not as bad right now. New order index, not as bad as it was. You're about where you were in prices received. You're a bit better, higher prices and prices received. That's that inflation. When you take a look at the inventories, whoa, big shift around here. So inventories are, I think, being rebuilt. And orders shipped out, well, they didn't go. You heard me, they didn't go. It was -6.9, now it's -14.4. We get business inventories at 9, and the National Home Builders will come out with their monthly market housing index later. But today's all about the aftermath, and don't you lose sight of that. This is an aftermath day. Now, another event to get ready for. In Bitcoin, on April 20th, at some point during the day, the halving takes place. And that means you're going to lose a lot of miners. Okay, miners around the world have moved back to the U.S., and they're now finding themselves competing with the huge data centers for artificial intelligence. That electric costs in some areas have gone up 4-fold. And in order to produce now a coin, the same effort you put in is going to give you half. There's a finite number that can produce on top. You're going to lose a group of miners. That's my prediction. Probably the mining stocks, you got to be careful, but you pick which ones, and the shorting events probably going on. And in the grains, we had ideal weather over the weekend. There's nothing short to call it than a dream. All right, here we are, April 15th. We're 80 degrees yesterday in Chicago, 70 today. We don't grow corn here, but all around us they do. And the weather's just been this way. Remember, the weather typically moves west to east, and it's been beautiful. The farmers are out in the fields. They're getting everything planted. We'll keep our eyes on all that. Now, in looking at this, I want to tell you, I've put out my new charting course, and it covers the swing lines, the moving averages, the slow stochastics, the Bollinger Bands, and, of course, window envelopes. When you look at what this course does, it's going to give you a framework. All right, it's 45 totally new videos. None of them repeats, each covering all this in a way that ties everything together in today's market. I gave some examples like this, but I'll give a lot more examples in a whole different way in the course. Why? Well, what I'm looking to do in the course is instill in you 5 technical indicators that you can use on ETF, stocks, the futures markets, literally anything you chart, believe it or not. And when you put it on there and you start working with what the market is doing, you get a game plan. From that game plan, you figure out an execution process. From the execution process, what if I'm wrong process. Got to have the stops in there. So I give you written updates. I give you a 30-day trial to my research. That alone is $76 a month. You get it for 30 days. The charting course software, $160 value thrown into the course. So go to iraepstein.com. Under education, you'll see charting course. Move your cursor to the top here, give that a click and take advantage. I'm Ira Epstein. I'll catch up with you at the end of the day with our market reviews. Take care.